All right. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Randa, who's behind the scenes. And we're sending our prayers out to Karen, who is on the front lines tonight, doing an action. Action or just it's an action, right? She's doing, and
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're sending prayers for everyone out there tonight, in North Carolina. Um, Um, yeah. Yeah, thank you all for being here. Thank you to those of you who are new. Thank you for trying this out. It's definitely going to be an experience for sure. And yeah, hard candy Christmas. You know? Yeah, yeah, this is really the theme song for my whole spiritual journey, actually. You know, and particularly this year. So that's one of my friends was like, yeah, there's going to be a whole different meaning to this song this year. I was like, yeah, but at least it's sweet. At least hard candy is sweet. There's some sweetness there. Even that's all maybe you're getting for Christmas. Right. And also thank you for to everyone who came out this weekend in Asheville for our 1 day retreat on Tara. It was really wonderful to be with many of you in person as well. But yeah, so we continue moving on. We have some really hard work to do. The tasks ahead of us are very demanding. You know, the winter is demanding attention and surrender, right? But the world doesn't seem to be conducive to taking a break, you know? But indeed, we have to figure out how to find our rest and restoration as we enter into the winter months, right? As we move into this moment of deeper darkness, as in many cultures, believing that this moment, this time is about the rebirth of the sun, the coming back of light into the world as we move deeper and deeper into darkness in these next couple of weeks, right? To reemerge back in light. This is the season of Advent in the Christian calendar, right? Which is the preparation for the return of hope. Well, it's the return of light. Again, the birth of Jesus being the rebirth of hope, salvation, right? As the empire strikes back, we prepare to embody the Jedi, to come back, to reclaim our liberation. But you have to go under to do that, as these stories and these narratives are very like formulaic, the hero's journey, right? The hero has to often die and resurrects, right? And I think that's what winter is about. It's like we have to learn how to surrender, right? We have to learn how to let go, right, in order to be reborn in the spring, right? And the process of dying is, it's tough, right? But it's necessary. I think so much of what we're moving through right now is a remembrance that we have to return back to these natural cycles. You know, our technologies and our systems have disrupted our connection, our attunement to the natural cycles of body and the land and the climate. And we have to return back into that that cycle, right? We have to follow the seasons. And this is something that I was really fortunate to really understand in my 3-year retreat, training, because there was nowhere to go but to just sit in a wooden box, right? And for the first time in my life, I noticed the changing of the seasons for 3 years, the in and out of the seasons. And it was so transformative for me. I felt like Emerson sitting on the side of the lake, you know. But like it was this intense medicine to witness the cycles of the season and to also understand that I was moving through those same cycles. That my whole life and our whole lives, we have been moving through those cycles, even though we may not have been aware or offered attention or slowed down or honored the energy of these seasons were still happening, right? And I learned how to move in and out of these seasons to honor the medicine of the seasons, right? This season that's fall, autumn is preparing, to give way to winter, right? The richness of fall, of autumn, the decaying of things, like the gathering of the harvest, right? The celebration of lights, right? The deep appreciation we have, for autumn, but autumn was only possible because of the summer, right? Summer is only possible because of spring. Spring is only possible because of winter, right? The interrelatedness, the interdependence of all the cycles of the season that gives way to the medicines that we need in this embodiment, this human embodiment that we're all moving through. To honor the medicines, even though yes, there's the narrative of the collective that we're moving through right now. And then there is the narrative of the natural world, and we have to stop getting so distracted right now, you know, because the natural world and the land, as we were talking about this weekend in Nashville, the land is trying to save us. The earth is trying to actually liberate us, right? And we have to start paying attention to the medicine that the land, the earth, and the natural world in general, the natural world, including plant consciousness as well, like all of these medicines are really quite potent right now. The plant medicines are potent, the herbs are potent, the land is really potent, right? And because everything knows that this is the moment, this is when we really need it. That's why many of you are having these inclinations, these visions, these dreams that are telling you to do certain things. There are that these visions, these intuitions are calling you back to the natural world. Right. And we have to be, again, in tune with the natural world and also have some awareness of what's going on around us. Right. But it's the medicine of the natural world that's going to actually support us in showing up for what we need to do in the world and the collective right now in terms of the systemic collapse that we're moving through. Right. As things collapse, the earth isn't collapsing, actually. Right. The earth is very present, right, for us. And can we return back to it? And of course, the Buddhas are a part of this as well. The Buddhas are an expression of the natural world as well, right? So when we come together to do something like Medicine Buddha, we're also at the same time, at least in the way that I'm doing this practice, we are returning back to the natural world. We're returning back to our bodies, right? We're returning to our breath. We're returning to the medicines that all of our ancestors relied on, right? Remembering, like we have to remember who we are, right? Like all the stuff that's happening in the government, and entertainment with all these celebrities, it's like, yes, that's happening. And this is also happening right here, right? This body is happening, right? Like, what, whatever, with Jay-Z, with whomever, whatever, you know, they'll, whatever, right? I have a bad feeling about Beyonce, but you know what? That's for another talk. Prepare yourselves, children, prepare yourselves for all this truth that's going to come out next year, honey. you know? And at the same time, I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm at. I know what I am not doing as well, right? Um, So coming back to this, coming back to the seat, right? And let's get started. I'm warmed up. Let's get this practice going. The door to practice is open, honey. Let's do it, right? So let's find our seats. Right? Right? I talk about the body. If you're working with your body, like just if you would like to just make contact somehow with a very neutral part of your body, wherever that may be for you. But I love just to bring a hand up to my heart center, right? And just feeling the pressure of my hand against my heart center as I'm talking, feeling the vibration, right, of sound in my heart center. I'm just noticing, of course, the rise and fall of the diaphragm and the upper chest. Just noticing the in-breath and the out-breath. I'm also connecting to the weight of my body and the seat rising to hold me. And all of these become anchors, right, for our attention. Right? And in a way, it's, of course, our attention is just energy, awareness, attention, energy, conscious energy, energy that knows, right? And so it feels as if I'm just gathering all of this energy that's kind of like all over the place in the past, in the future, down the street, around the corner, at the grocery store, bringing it all together, gathering this energy and just placing it really gently on an anchor. And the anchor is a tether. Right? It's a tethering. And in this sense, a tethering is not about being bound, it's not about being trapped, right? Or restricted. It's about being held. It's about being anchored. So the anchor itself, whatever the anchor is for you in this moment, it is grounding. It is gathering you, right? And it's gathering you into this moment. Because it is only in the present moment that we can choose to get free and thus get free. But as we're gathering ourselves with the help of the tethering of the anchor, as we gather ourselves into this moment, things become clearer, which is the point. Clarity. It's hard to get clear when we're so distracted all over the place. And this isn't to say that to get clear, everything has to settle down, because that's not what we're doing. That's not what meditation is. It's about gathering our attention. It's about tethering and awareness so that we're able to choose to stay in the moment, to stay with the arising of thoughts and emotions, sensations, other stimuli, including sight, sound, sights, temperature, everything that happens. To stay present with it. And as we stay present with what's arising, we find ourselves less and less likely to get kind of carried away with what's arising. And as I was, teaching on Tara this weekend, well, I always love to talk about how one of the stories around Tara's enlightenment was that she, in her meditation, learned how to trace the origin of sound, right? Which is to say that she could trace the origin, the arising of all phenomena. Like, so she could trace it back to its birth, its origin. which is a fucking diva move. Not only am I going to be present, I'm going to like actually go back and meet the arising of this phenomena in its birthplace, which takes us all the way back to the 12 links of dependent causation, right? It's like that subtle nuance, very fine, like awareness. It's our awareness that we're getting still, that we're getting grounded. And that's called meditative stability, right? When we have the agency to stay with things as they are arising, that we don't have to think about it, but we can notice. And this is the point of meditation right here, to have this agency to stay put, to watch, to notice, but not get carried away in thinking and distraction. And I don't mind having fun. I don't mind being off of the TikToks, right? And the Instagrams and all of our facials, favorite social media things. I know I key got cut up in that. I love that. And you best believe I know how to show up to this moment. Right? I have the agency to just be here. And in this kind of stability, then we can start experiencing whatever feels appropriate to experience. And when I say appropriate, it means that can I hold this in a caring or a loving awareness? Because awareness isn't always caring. It can be quite cold. But this is why compassion and wisdom have to ride together, right? They have to come together in order to reduce harm and to really get free. Not only am I paying attention, I am also expressing a kind of attention that's really gentle and warm, right? That's curious, that's fluid, that's open, that's kind of like empathic. And I think the the compassion in awareness itself is our capacity to say yes to experiencing what arises, making choices as to what we can hold space for, and then what we can't hold space for in the moment, choosing that, not just reacting, but saying, you know what, I can't really deal with this. Let me change the channel, right? And if you're working with the breath, I invite you back into this really simple practice that I often offer, which is just using the breath to move through energy. particularly inhaling into whatever energy feels heavy or stuck, imagining that that in breath dissolves, loosens up, disrupts that energy. And then just releasing that breath and that energy out of the mouth in a gentle exhale. And in a gentle exhale, that is like blowing out a candle. So pursing the lips, rounding the lips, and just blowing out that energy that's been dissolved through the in breath. And you can let that exhale really guide you deeper and deeper into some of these energies. And let your grief, your sadness, ride the breath, right? Let this energy move with the breath and in the breath and along with the breath. We can bring our attention to the heart center as we're moving through these practices. Imagining that we're inhaling into and exhaling from the heart center as well. As we're contacting or noticing maybe the heaviness of our heart, the grief, the sadness, breathing into that energy and releasing it bit by bit in the out breath. So a little bit more, right, before we continue. One more breath here. Coming back into a natural breath. Again, connecting to the seat. And just slowly shift our attention to awakening the energy, the consciousness of Medicine Buddha through our first mantra, Om Minma Sange, Kino, Soha, Medicine Buddha, please think of me, look at me, gaze upon me, remember me. Please remember me. So as we begin to chant this, yes, we're calling in or awakening the presence of Medicine Buddha, but also this is a personal prayer to Medicine Buddha. What do you need right now from Medicine Buddha? Let this mantra become a prayer for what you need. Right? The openness that begins to really happen, awaken in the heart center, right? The vulnerability that it takes to express our needs, and the faith that it takes to express our needs into an experience that maybe some of us aren't even sure about. You know, what the fuck is Medicine Buddha? You know, it's emptiness in space. Well, that's helpful, isn't it, right? But it's something more, right? Sometimes it's not about emptiness and space and energy as we talk about how that's the nature of all phenomena, including all the Buddhas. But often what I've discovered in my practice is that I'm really actually praying to myself, right? I'm praying to my own innate experience of sacredness, divinity, a divinity that for many of us, we were so kept from, right? And when we offer these mantras, yeah, if you want to, you can say, yeah, Medicine Buddha is out here all around. That's Medicine Buddha. And that's wonderful too. But at the same time, Medicine Buddha is right here. I am Medicine Buddha. You are Medicine Buddha. I am Tara. You are Tara. Medicine Buddha doesn't have anything, or is Medicine Buddha isn't that much different than you are, except that Medicine Buddha, as an awakened being, knows they're awakening. They know they are free. They are no longer deluded. They're not in this delusion like we are. They're very clear. And we are just trying to remember what they've already remembered. Right? That's it. Like you are special. And you're not special because everyone else is the same, just like you. So take it for what it's worth. So again, as we turn our attention back to the mantra, I guess what I'm trying to say is that like I want you to chant this mantra to yourself, to the Medicine Buddha you are, not to the Medicine Buddha you think is outside of yourself, the Medicine Buddha right here. So may I remember myself. May I remember that I am the medicine. I don't have to become the medicine. I am the medicine. I just need to remember that. Just needing to remember is a very loaded phrase right there. Welcome to multiple lifetimes of practice. So again, starting with chanting the mantra 3 times, and then ending with and begin inhaling. Om. Om Asange Hino Soha. Om Lasange Hino Soha. Om Lasange Hino Soha. Om. And feeling these qualities of medicine Buddha beginning to awaken for you inside of you, in your mind and your body. And if you're having a felt experience, what is that experience? So let's go a little bit further. And I invite you to imagine that all the space around you in this physical realm begins to radiate with light, and how everything seems as if it is dissolving into this white light. And as everything dissolves into light, we begin to imagine that all of this light begins to collect into a pearl-sized ball of light in front of us, maybe 5 or 6 feet in front of us. And that this ball of light, this pearl of pure, radiant light, begins to transform into Medicine Buddha. And Medicine Buddha taking on whatever form feels authentic to your experience. Not just the Buddha sitting on a lotus seat in monk's robes, but the healer, the liberatory healer that you need right now. Be it Harriet Tubman, because I know one of you is going to bring in Harriet. Be it Tara, be it Audre Lorde or James Baldwin or Toni Morrison or whomever. It's just me. Who or what is taking form in front of you? Knowing that this form, this being that arises in front of you is an expression of Medicine Buddha. Medicine Buddha, like any other Buddha, doesn't have a real form or an appearance. So let your needs and your intersectionality shape the medicine for you in this moment. And when that being has come into full focus or a felt experience of this being, because you don't have to see anything, right? You don't have to imagine anything. You can just feel something or just trust that something's happening. But the point of this is simply to relax, to surrender, to open, and just be in the space. Be with how our intentionality has shifted something, has created something, has drawn something into being. That's it. If you're trying really hard to make something happen, stop trying. That's not the practice. Make it easy, make it fluid, make it natural. It's just an opening. It's just an arriving to this moment with no expectations, even though it sounds like there are a lot of expectations. No expectations. So you get it, right? Yes, I want something to happen, and whatever happens, happens. How can you live in that intersection? To have an agenda, but also to say, okay, whatever happens is happening. Wonderful. And then as we turn our attention to our main mantra, Teata, right? As we begin this first part of our mantra, followed by the offering of prayers, then another round of mantras, allowing ourselves in the mantra work to become recipients of the healing work that's beginning to happen. For some of us, it will not be conscious. We won't know what's happening. But for some of us, there will be a lot of stuff happening, and it's fine. Whatever experience you're having is fine. But if the experience is overwhelming, right, then you make a choice to take care of yourself, to regulate, okay? So in my practice, it's just going to be me imagining that the healer that's shown up for me is radiating this healing, white, warm light that seems to be enveloping me and doing this really deep work. of healing for me. But just let the practice take the form it needs to take for you. Mhm. So we'll begin. O te daum begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumungate soa. Te daum begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumungate soa. Deyanda umbegenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu sumungate soa. Deyanda umbegenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu sumungate soa. Deyanda umbegenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu zumungare zoa. Deyanda umbegenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu zumungare zoa. Deyanda umbegenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu zumungare zoa. Deyanda umbegenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu zumungate soa. Deyanda umbegenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu zumungare zoa. Deyanda umbegenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu zumungare zoa. Deyanda umbegenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu zumungate soa. 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 Deyanda umbegenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu zumungare zoa. Deyanda umbegenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu zumungate soa. Deyanda umbegenze, begenze, ma begenze, razu zumungate soa. Deyanda umbegenze, begenze, 제한다움 백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스스무냐데소아 제한다움 백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스스무냐데소아 제한다움 백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스스무냐데소아 제야자 옴백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스스무가제소아 제야자 옴백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스스무가제소아 제야자 옴백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스스무가제소아 제한다옴 백은세 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 백은세 마백은세 라스스무가제소아 제한다옴 So just turning attention to our prayer requests, and as always, we call upon all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Yadams, Dharma protectors, all members of the Sangha, all beings of light, all the protectors, elders, and guardians of the lands and the elements. We call upon all beings of light, any being in the universe in existence who is for our liberation and healing and sustainability. We call you into this space and we offer you these prayers asking you to work on our behalf to bring about the fruition of these prayers as we continue to do our work to manifest these prayers as well. We're offering prayers for my Uncle Sid, who is undergoing heart surgery on Wednesday in Japan. Offering prayers for all those feeling lonely and cut off, all those abandoned and alone, that they may feel deeply held and connected. Offering prayers for the H family, all peace and strength to them. Offering prayers for myself, my mental health, prayers for healing and for grace to reign in my life and heart as I struggle so much. Offering prayers for all healing from trauma and violence to bring peace to our hearts and minds. Offering prayers that I rise to my calling and recognize what that is. Offering prayers to dream forward and prioritize joy, play, and connection. Offering prayers for all my beloveds and all beings to feel deep care, peace, and safety, especially in times of uncertainty. Offering prayers for my body, which is experiencing inflammation and joint pain, that I be free from pain, and also that I abstain from suffering, no matter what the experience. Prayers for my sister who is having chemo. Prayers that I may honor Medicine Buddha meaningfully and my offerings to him today. Offering prayers that my daughter, dog, and I are able to find happy homes during our transition away from each other. And prayers for my sister who is experiencing arm pain. Prayers for myself to find steady, predictable income that is appropriate for me. Offering prayers that the father wound my daughter has been given be something that leads to good for her and all those in her life. May our have a life of deep connection, care, joy, and deep fulfillment. Prayers for my Aunt Megan as she prepares for a transition from this realm held by the joy and light of her spirit with as little fear as possible. Offering prayers for all of us that we create ease, compassion, and community. Offering prayers for B, who is hospitalized. May she rest and receive the care she needs. Offering prayers for N as she makes a career transition. Offering prayers for myself to navigate this complex season. Please embrace me while I stand encouraged to what no longer serves my highest good. Offering prayers for Amanda that her divorce may end quickly and with ease. Prayers for Jed that he may find some friends and not be so lonely. Prayers for Allison that she may find some relief from her arthritis. Prayers of gratitude for all who pray. Prayers for my Aunt Etna who passed away today. May she be in peace. Offering prayers that my heart breaks open so I can more fully do my work with less resistance and suffering. Offering prayers for those struggling to create free states in Ghana, Syria, and the U.S. Prayers for those still enslaved by settler colonialism, including my kin in South Carolina. Offering prayers that we may all gain the clarity, courage, and compassion we need to get free and dismantle all systems of violence and oppression. Offering prayers for my grandmother who recently transitioned from this life to the next. May she be guided and know she's always loved. Offering prayers for Cameron on his healing journey. Offering prayers of gratitude for Lama Rod, Sister Sadada, and the whole team that they may be nourished and supported. Offering prayers for Karen and everyone participating in nonviolent actions in Riley this week. May obstacles to freedom be overcome, and may there be healing of fear. Offering prayers for everyone fearing threats of deportation. Prayers for the Syrian people. Prayers for all beings that are unable to be sheltered, living, sleeping outside in inclement and all weather. Offering prayers that I may be blessed with ease and kindness in my search for a new home, and that all may find a safe home in this world. Offering prayers for Fran as she prepares for a transition from this life. May she be at ease and feel loved by those around her. Offering prayers to the world. May we all be free from suffering. May we all be liberated, mind, body, and spirit. Prayers for my family, friends, and community. May we be held, protected, and safe always. May my health be constant. May I always have the support medicines I need to maintain my health. Offering prayers for Jay and his family as he recovers from surgery and starts in the clinical trial that could extend his life. Offering prayers for my healing, prayers for M and Ara, may they experience healing and freedom. Offering prayers for my parents, dear friends, Gloria and Steve, who were in a bad car accident this past week. May their bodies heal as quickly as possible, and may they get the care they need in their healing. Offering prayers for my mental health, may I remember that I'm already free and that my suffering has something to offer me. May I have the courage to learn the lesson. Offering prayers of support for my wife, daughter, and I as I go through a challenging phase in our relationships and the ability to not be overwhelmed. Prayers of healing for Jay. Offering prayers for the Sharp family who are navigating Mother Patty's fall and her sudden inability to walk again. May the impact of this tragic event be softened with grace and support, especially Sarah, who emotionally supports the entire family. May Sarah tap into nourishment and love to give her strength. Offering prayers for help with my neuropathy, for healing and strengthening, and help with the accompanying anxiety. Offering prayers for Marshall Ara and upcoming immunotherapy for lymphoma, for Allison C. after uncomfortable procedure. Offering prayers for the U.S. and the world in this incredibly unstable period we're entering and all the impacts for people all over the world. Offering prayers for the survivors of disasters, especially in Western North Carolina. Offering prayers for my beloved Zen teacher as he navigates what may be the end of his life. May he, his family, and friends, and our Sangha be free from pain and suffering. Offering prayers for Roshi Joan Halifax and the Upaya Zen Center community. Offering prayers that I use writing as medicinal healing rather than as something that I use to look for acceptance from others. Offering prayers for the L and E family that they heal quickly and swiftly. May my journey be healing and gentle. May my team be well supported, loved, and have everything they need. May my upcoming move be easeful and spacious. May all beings be free right now. Offering prayers for all the pets killed in the house fires in eastern North Carolina this week. Offering prayers for all those known and unknown who struggle to see their own beauty. We offer prayers also for all those who are struggling, particularly with this particular time of year and this time of the holidays. May there be peace, stability, ease, and what many of us are experiencing. May all systems of violence and harm be completely eradicated, be completely abolished. May we all experience the liberating medicine of the natural world, the liberating medicine of all the Buddhas, but especially the liberating medicine of community. May we all awaken to our true natures as quickly as possible, and may we get free now. May it be so. So as we turn back into our mantra work just for a couple of minutes, and just as we often do, imagining that the energy of this healer of medicine Buddha that's arisen with you, in front of you, or maybe around you, that they begin to release this healing energy into this world, into our communities, into our families, into our workplaces, into our spiritual communities, into the unseen realm, into the spirit realm, and the bardo, into the entire universe. That the blessings of Medicine Buddha saturate all phenomena, healing and liberating everything. And may we have the deepest faith and trust that this is possible. And returning back to our mantra, O te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze raza sumungate soha te ada begenze begenze ma begenze 라서 수문 같이 소화 대야다 온백은세 백은세 마백은세 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 라서 수문 같이 소화. So returning our attention to this expression of the healer, this expression of medicine Buddha that's been with us in our practice. We thank them for their kindness, for their love. We imagine that they begin to dissolve into white light. We imagine that we're absorbing that white light into our heart center. And in our heart center, we feel the blessing and the medicine of Medicine Buddha. And slowly this light from our heart center begins to radiate through our whole bodies, and we begin to imagine that our bodies begin to dissolve into white light. We imagine that this white light condenses down again into a pearl of light, this pearl of light being our awareness. And even the pearl of light of our awareness begins to dissolve into emptiness. And our awareness expands, opens to fold into emptiness and space itself. And we rest just for a minute in this open awareness, just being, just resting, just allowing. And slowly we start becoming aware of our bodies again, letting our bodies take form and shape, connecting to the weight of our bodies, feeling the seat rising to hold us, feeling the earth supporting all of us and everything. Imagining that the space around us comes back into focus. We become aware of just all of the different arisings around us, from sounds to sensations, to temperature, to light, quality, and texture, the taste in our mouth, to how our clothes feel against our skin. And slowly beginning to reawaken our bodies through simple, slow movement. Even adding a few deep cleansing breaths, breathing into the nose and fully and openly out of the mouth. Just turning our attention now to our closing prayer, Shanti Deva's prayer. Because we'll repeat this 3 times. We begin. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they all pass away from pain. May I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. And just like space and the great elements such as the earth, I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they all pass away from pain, I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach unto the ends of space. And finally, may I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as the earth, may always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I always be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach to the ends of space. Okay. All right. Well, thank you all so much for your practice, and I look forward to practicing with you this weekend and the many opportunities that we have. If you've signed up for this pre-solstice gathering, you will be receiving a materials list for the ceremony, which we'll do on Sunday, but you can repeat again for the actual solstice days, which are the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Okay, anything else, Eric?